Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Brothers channel, and in this video I'm going to be sharing with you guys the top 5 or I guess top 6 Adidas basketball shoes that you can get right now. Of course, this list is just my opinion, so if you guys have a different list, tell us what it is down in the comment section below. And what I like to have in my shoe, or like the type of shoe I like to play in, because it kind of changes sometimes, you know. Like a long time ago I used to like really crazy zoom units, you know, like a full-length zoom unit. I used to like very soft materials. I guess that really hasn't changed all too much, but right now for me personally, cushioning isn't as important. Like I still like to have a nice cushioning setup, you know, don't get me wrong, but it's not as important to me as it was a long time ago. And for me right now, I just like to have a very minimal shoe, you know, with a thin upper, and I guess a well padded tongue and a well padded ankle area isn't a bad thing, you know. I don't really mind that, but just like in the forefoot, I like to have a thin material cushioning setup. Like I said, it doesn't really matter all too much as long as it's not crappy, you know, super stiff. If there's a little boost or a little compression in the forefoot or in the heel, it's definitely a plus. And attraction, of course, needs to be good. So yeah, if you guys want to cop any of these shoes on this list, I'll leave links in the description box. But let's get started off with number 6, and that's going to be the Harden Volume 4. The Harden Volume 4 is going for 130 bucks, and they're good performers, you know. The only thing I had a problem with was the traction on dust, and you know, this was when I was playing on the indoor court. And the traction on dust, I mean, it wasn't bad. You know, if you wiped a little bit, you'd be good to go. But it would pick up dust fairly quickly. And if you let too much dust build up, you would just slide out and it would be kind of dangerous. So that's one thing that I didn't like about it. On the clean court, it had a great bite though. And then the full length light strike is nice, but then it's super thin. So in my opinion, I don't think they utilize light strike in that shoe like all too well, because I mean, like, I guess impact protection and all that is really good for how thin and how good the court feel is in that shoe, but the impact protection wasn't the best and there wasn't a lot of bounce. The materials are nice though. The materials are probably the best on this list, or one of the best. They're using basically like a prime knit material or just a knit. And it's pretty damn thin in the forefoot. It conforms to your foot, but also the shoe is supportive. Obviously, Harden needs a lot of lateral containment. So I mean, if you're playing on a clean court and you don't mind the really low to the ground cushion, then the Harden Volume 4 is a great option. All right, moving on to number 5 is the Pro Model 2G, and this was super surprising. I got it because my friend said it was a good performer. I was like, really? Okay, I'll try it out. You know what I'm saying? So I got it. I wasn't really expecting much. And then I played it and I was like, yo, this is actually pretty damn nice. And then once I broke it in, because the material's like in my colorway, the material's like a patent leather and like creases and stuff, you need to break it in a little bit. And once I did that, I was like, yo, this is actually a very nice shoe to play in, right? And opposite from what it looks like, because you know, when I saw it, I was like, it looks a little bulky and it looks a little heavy, right? But that's actually not the case. It's actually a very light shoe. It's a very minimal feeling shoe as well. Like the material is super thin. And not only that, it's a very supportive shoe, and you feel very quick when you're playing it, right? And this shoe's only going for 100 bucks, but there's some colorways that are going for like 85 bucks. Like there's this really cool gold and white colorway that's going for 85 bucks for some reason. And then there was another colorway, it's like a pastel, like purple or green color that looked really cool. So that shoe is a solid performer. All right, moving on to number 4 is going to be the Dame 6, and it's going for 110 bucks. The traction is really nice. Just watch out for dust. I remember dust being a little bit of an issue in that shoe as well, but if you're playing on the clean court, you're good to go. The cushioning is awesome. It's one of my favorites on this list. The full length light strike is it's like the perfect thickness for me in my opinion. It's not too soft, but there's still a good amount of compression, and it has a nice bounce to it, especially in the heel. The materials are really crappy though. And I usually don't care about the quality of the material as long as it's like thin and like conforms to your foot. But in the Dame 6, the materials feel pretty damn crappy, you know, especially in hand, but even on foot. You know, usually if a material feels crappy in hand, it's okay on foot for me. You know, like the Zoom Freak 1, for example, it's super flimsy, very cheap feeling, but on foot it was not bad, you know. But in the Dame 6, like on foot, it even felt like kind of flimsy and like cheap and like just not nice, you know. So I mean, obviously that's not a deal breaker for me, and I could deal with it. But if that's something that you don't like, then obviously stay away from the Dame 6. But everything else in this shoe is really good. All right, moving on to number 3, and that's going to be the BYW 2.0, and that's going for 160 bucks. One of the most expensive shoes on this list. And yeah, so obviously if you don't want to spend a lot of money, stay away from this shoe. But overall it's a really nice performer. You know, the traction is really nice. The cushioning with the boost is also really nice. Yeah, you get a nice underfoot cushioning from the boost, and you get really nice impact protection. And also the court feel is good. You know, it looks like the court feel is not going to be good, but it's actually very good. The shoe has very good lateral containment. You know, you have all that foam coming up on the lateral side. The materials, like for 160 bucks, are not nice. You get like a mesh overlay, which doesn't feel the best, you know, like in hand. It doesn't look great. It's not like a prime knit or anything. But you know, it gets the job done on foot. You know, like I said, it's thin, it conforms to your foot pretty well. Overall, it's soft and all that. So it's not a huge deal for me. So the BYW 2.0 is number 3. Moving on to number 2, and that's going to be the Next Level 2020. The only thing I don't like about that shoe is the laceless feature. I mean, it's definitely something that you can get used to, and at first it's super hard to put the shoe on and take the shoe off, but you know, once you break it in, it's not a huge deal. And you know, the material is very thick, you know, and there's a lot of underlaying materials, so it's not like the fit gets really loose or anything, because there's really nothing to tighten on your foot because there are no laces, right? But you know, that's not a huge deal once you get over it. It's just something that I didn't really like about the shoe, and I feel like the Next Level 2020 should have laces, but you know, I don't know why Adidas just doesn't want to put laces on that shoe. But anyways, yeah, the materials are very nice. The prime knit that they're using on that shoe, it feels like a sock. You know, the entire shoe basically feels like a sock, right? And not only that, but then it's supportive where it needs to be supportive. So support is definitely not an issue. And the cushion with the light strike is very nice. And the traction was also good and very durable. And also another thing is that I don't really like the aesthetics all too much. You know, I like the colorway that I got, like that like light red kind of infrared color. But other than that, the aesthetics aren't the best for me in my opinion. But that shoe is a great performer. Alright, moving on to number 1, drum roll, and that's going to be the Pro Boost Low. That's only $110. That's basically budget price, right? So that shoe was like, I was very surprised. I was disappointed though in the cushioning setup, because I thought it was gonna be a little bit nicer than it was, because it's light strike with basically a full-length boost core. But you know, it's still nice. Low to the ground, the impact protection was good. There's not a lot of bounce in the cushioning. There's a little bit of compression in the heel, but you know, it's not bad. Like I said, I don't really mind a responsive low to the ground cushioning with good impact protection. Like, I don't need crazy bounce or something crazy in the cushioning setup. The traction was very good and durable, and the materials weren't bad. You know, like the overlays, I didn't think I would like it in the toe box area, because there's a lot of overlays, right? But it doesn't feel super thick. It doesn't feel cumbersome. Overall, it's pretty damn thin, and conforms to your foot pretty damn well. And not only that, but it's a pretty good looking shoe, and I really like that elastic band in the midfoot area, which in my opinion improves the fit a good amount in the midfoot area, because you know, it feels like something's like stretching over your foot. So yeah, that about wraps up this video, and that's my list for top Adidas basketball shoes that you can get right now. Again, tell us what your list would be down in the comment section below, and if you guys want to cop any of these shoes, I'll try to leave a link in the description box. But that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.